The abstract is an overview of the entire report. Although it is generally the first section presented in the paper, it should be written last. Usually, it is fewer than 300 words, though different publications and courses have different requirements. In many cases, readers use the abstract to decide if the rest of the paper is worth reading, or to identify whether it contains the information they are seeking. Often, researchers only read and cite the abstract of other papers in their work. For these reasons, it is extremely important to have a well-written and concise abstract. To decide how much key information to include, ask yourself, if I was a researcher doing a similar study and I could only read this abstract, would the information presented here be helpful to me? Are there components missing? The abstract should provide all the main points of your paper so that someone reading it can get the whole picture of your research project, conclusions and all. One easy way to get started on writing the abstract is to go through your paper, section by section, and write the main idea of each paragraph in the margins. Then, take each of those main ideas and create sentences. These will form the basis for your abstract. Remember, not all of these sentences may be included in the final abstract. This is just to ensure that you have taken a detailed accounting of the main points in the paper. Abstracts should not include an abundance of background information or theory. Only a summary of the basics that the reader needs to know. You should also avoid referring to other literature unless absolutely necessary for context. Remember, the abstract is solely about your research. If the reader wanted to know about other studies, they could read those instead. Additionally, abstracts should be written in a clear and unbiased manner. Avoid using metaphors, abbreviations, jargon, confusing terms, or creative language. Just stick to the main points, even if it seems a bit dry. Do not include any tables, figures, or images, or references to any of those in the abstract. A good scientific abstract begins by clearly identifying the purpose of the study. This is typically taken from the introduction section. Then, proceed to the methods and materials section. Provide a brief summary of the procedure with information about key materials, such as samples tested. Then, move on to the results and discussion sections. Rather than simply stating the results, discuss them in terms of the hypothesis or research questions and identify any patterns, trends, or notable outcomes in the data. If there were any flaws or limitations to the study, note those as well. Remember, avoid using vague terms like many, most, should, etc. Abstracts must be clear, precise, and specific. Next, let's take a look at a couple of examples from student work. Recalling the guidelines we just covered, take note of what the students may have done well or not so well. Feel free to pause the video and take time to thoroughly read the examples presented. When you're ready, resume the video and we can discuss what we notice about these abstracts. Admittedly, this first abstract is not ideal. For one, it is extremely short. It doesn't provide any connection to theory or contextual information. While it does provide a preview of the experiment, it does not provide adequate information about the procedure or the findings. This abstract is vague and does not give the reader a clear sense of the experimental process or its outcomes. If you are a researcher reading this abstract, it is likely you'd be a bit confused about the point of the study and what the researcher found in the course of their experimentation. Let's look at another example. Feel free to pause the video as needed. This scientific abstract is well constructed and gets right to the point. The purpose here is clear and easily identifiable. It is presented first to help researchers quickly decide whether or not this is the right article for them to read. The samples tested during the experiment are clearly described, and the procedure is concisely summarized. The writer has collected and stated the most important findings from the experiment. In addition, the writer didn't simply state the results. They identified the main trend in their findings and connected that back to the underlying theory and hypothesis. In this abstract, quantitative results are highlighted and significant qualitative results are summarized. When writing your abstract, you should try to mirror these qualities as well. Now, let's recall the key points from this video. An ideal abstract clearly states the objectives of the research, identifies the research question, and states the hypothesis. Additionally, the key results and information from other sections of the report should be concisely summarized. An ideal abstract does not include lengthy background information or unnecessary tables, figures, or references to other literature. It avoids superfluous language and presents only the main points. Additionally, a good scientific abstract strictly adheres to the length requirement defined by the professor or publication. Thank you for watching our video series on writing scientific papers. Remember that all of the resources created for this series are available for viewing and download on our website, which is linked in the description below. Good luck on your papers!